Hey, what is up, awesome people? Shady Wags with Got Your Back, and I'm going to share with you some of the tricks that I use to speed up taming herbivores in ARK Survival Evolved. There was a level 80 parecer hanging out in front of our gates, so I could not resist taming this thing. I've never tamed one before, but I had my assumptions that this was going to be a very long tame, along the lines of a brontosaurus. I went ahead and whistled all my dinos in the pen here to passive. I'm going to go ahead and pull the parecer into the pen, and I don't want them attacking him, and hopefully I can knock it out inside the pen, because this area outside is crawling with carnivores. I go ahead and open the gate. You do need a behemoth gate for one of these to pass through, and I take my shot and run this thing back through the gate. Tommy is helping me out on this one, so he went ahead and shut the gate as I attempted to run this thing around. But I was pretty surprised at how fast this thing is. Luckily, Tommy picks me up with his Argentavis, and I continue shooting trank arrow after trank arrow into this thing. This took a lot of tranks, but eventually its torpor starts to get low, and it begins to run. Unfortunately, it runs right off the cliff, not where I wanted it to go, but it does go unconscious right after it drops down the side. Now the work begins. Since this is not a safe area out here, anything can run up and start hitting the tame. So Tommy begins building wooden spikes surrounding the area to keep creatures out and puts down a wooden foundation with a door so we are able to easily enter and exit. I go ahead and grab our Ankilo and bring him down to the area and begin collecting a bunch of Majo berries and stem berries for this tame. I go ahead and collect around 1,000 Majo berries, but I'm not going to put any berries on this girl yet, because any berries I put on her will immediately start the tame. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the dynamics of taming, if we go into the creature's inventory screen, this right here is the creature's food level. This number will fall to a certain number, and when it gets to, or if it's already past that specific number, the creature will eat until it is at full food. Then the food number will begin falling again till it hits that number once again. Once it hits that number, it will then eat again, and this will repeat time after time. Each dino has a different number that it eats at, and each time it eats, this will raise the taming bar. This is the creature's torpor. This number is equal to the creature's unconscious level. This number will continue to fall, and when it reaches 0, the creature will then wake up. You are able to increase this number, keeping the creature knocked out by giving it narcotics. And you are able to speed up the decrease of the torpor by feeding the creature either stem berries or stimulant. Now, why would you want to accelerate the decrease of torpor? Well, stem berries and stimulant, when eaten by human characters, counteract torpor, but they also have the side effect of decreasing your water at an accelerated rate. Dinos do not have a water level, only food. So both stem berries and stimulant, when given to a dino, will decrease their food storage at an increased rate. So by giving a dino stem berries or stimulant, you are forcing them to eat faster, essentially taming them faster. I'm going to be using stimulants on this parecer, and that's because some herbivores will begin to tame off of stem berries. I'm not sure if this one will, so to play it safe, I will be using stimulants. Stimulants can be made at a mortar and pestle using stem berries and spark powder. So I put all my narcotics and stimulant onto the dino. Now I'm going to first raise her torpor to 100% using narcotics. Once that is at 100%, now I'm going to begin giving her stimulants 10 at a time. You will see as I begin feeding her stimulants, both her torpor and her food begin dropping at a more accelerated rate. Whenever I see that torpor number begin slowing down, I give her 10 more stimulants. And I continue doing this until I have her torpor down around 50%. When her torpor is down to 50%, I know now I have a baseline number of 60 stimulants I can give her at a time to get her from 100% torpor all the way down to 50%. Now I begin giving her 10 narcotics at a time, and her torpor will begin to raise at an accelerated rate. Once she gets to 100% torpor, I now know to take her from 50% torpor all the way back up to 100%, it takes 50 narcotics. Now I'll just go back and forth giving her 60 stimulants, letting her torpor drop all the way down to 50%, and then turning around and giving her 50 narcotics to raise it all the way back up. And all the time I'm doing this, her food is dropping lower and lower. My goal is to get her food all the way down to around 2,000. If you wanted to be completely safe, you could take the food all the way down to 0, but I'm guessing 2,000 should be enough. Once that food number is down to 2,000, I'm then going to throw all the Majo berries into her inventory, and she will eat over and over again non-stop until she is hopefully fully tamed. One question people may have is why not take the torpor down past 50%? And the reason I do not do this is ARK. Bad things are bound to happen, and if they do, this would give me time to take care or recover from that situation and get back in time before the tame wakes up. Okay, she is now at 2,000 food. I would love to take this all the way down to 0, but honestly, my patience is running thin and a storm is getting ready to roll in. So I'm going to go ahead and throw all these berries in and cross my fingers that was enough. And there she goes. She's just going to keep eating over and over again, and each time she eats, that taming bar is going to raise an amount. If I did have kibble, this would have been even a faster tame because each time she would eat, that taming bar would move a much larger amount, and it would also tame her at a higher taming efficiency, but I don't have any, so I'm going to just have to stick with berries. I hope taking her down to 2,000 food was enough. I'm just going to have to cross my fingers here. It looks like this is going to be real close. Well, that ended up being a pretty good guess. She does make it all the way, and she is now tamed. So that is how you use stimulant to speed up an herbivore tame. You can use the same method for carnivores as well, but with those, you don't have to use stimulant. You can just use stem berries, and then you're going to use raw meat, or preferably prime, or better than that, kibble, to get a higher taming efficiency. Another thing you do want to watch is how fast the creature's torpor level drops. For example, terror birds' torpor drops so fast, I would not even attempt to do this with them. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, I really would appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, later.
Yeah.